Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, how goes it for you so far this year? You still on the resolutions, or like most people, have you already fallen off that wagon already? Here we are in the 10th day of January. Man, that time just keeps marching on by. But anyhow, let's jump right into it today. I want to talk about why people struggle on a raw vegan diet, and I think there's two main reasons. I'm going to tell you right up, I like to do these videos. This is something, doesn't matter if you are trying to do a fully raw vegan diet, partial raw vegan diet. This is, I think, pretty solid even just for any version of the whole food plant-based diet. I really believe there's two reasons. Now, there's a lot of different things that can be broken down under that. But if you take care of these two things, it fundamentally, it will set you on the right track. And I've said it over and over and over again. The number one is people don't eat enough. Listen to me one more time. People don't eat enough because they come into this lifestyle with the same restrictive mentality that they brought from doing diets their whole life. Or any other, even sometimes, even if it's not just a diet, usually any sort of I'm going to get healthy, I'm going to lose weight, blah, 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 means restricting your food. And restricting your food is never going to work long term. Now, when I say restricting food, I make a little bit of a differentiation between restricting food and cutting calories slightly, because I'm talking about the volume of food we eat, because obviously there's a certain amount of calories that each one of our bodies need based on our based on our size, based on our needs as far as how active we are, our age, and all that kind of stuff. But it's really, you do not have to hold back on this lifestyle. This is one thing I don't exaggerate one bit. I've been eating this way for over 10 years, coming up on 11 years now, and I have never been hungry in that whole time, unless I've just chosen to be, or unless I've been somewhere like traveling and I don't have a chance, to get to food. I eat. If I'm hungry, I eat. Even if I've just eaten breakfast, sometime I'll show something on Instagram that doesn't look like a lot of food. Maybe it's got 300 or 400 calories. And even though I don't really kind of stick to the whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'll say, oh, this was my breakfast. And somebody will go, oh, that's only 400 calories. How are you going to get by on that? I'm like, well, I'll probably eat again in another hour or so. But you have to eat enough food. And that's another one of those things that you probably get sick of some of my little sayings that I say over and over and over and over and over, but I believe them to be true. And that is, the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. So you're just made like think of okay, here's a very common example right here. Oil. And that's just one of the reasons people kind of try to push you away from eating oil. Eat it if you want to. Some people will argue till the death, but 1 tablespoon. This amount of oil has so much fat, has so much calories, and that's not going to fill me up one bit. Do you know how much fruit I can eat that has the same in it that will actually fill me up? So what I'm saying is, you have to eat things that are going to be filling to you. But those things like the high fat things, they're not a lot of volume to them. Like if you're eating a lot of nuts, the calories, the fat, all that kind of stuff can add up real quick. So you've got to eat enough. But this leads right into number 2, and I believe this is the second main reason why people struggle on a raw vegan diet, is all the questions I get, all the things I see out online, all the things I see people talking about, it's all about the taste. How does this taste? Do you have a recipe for this? What does it taste like? Taste. You're eating for taste rather than nutrition. Now, as I say that, I know somebody's sitting there already shaking their head because you're jumping ahead and you're saying, well, that's absurd, because if our food doesn't taste good, we're not going to eat it. And I'm not saying that you need to eat bland food, need to eat food that's not all that tasty. I'm just saying that that's not the priority. You don't need to be chasing taste. I've mentioned it before when I do my what I eat in a day videos, or when I do other things. Like most of the time, well, I've got different salad dressings, I've got different this or that, but I don't sit around like the average person, or like I used to before I ate this lifestyle and think, what do I feel like for dinner? As in, what do my taste buds tell me? Oh, do I want this? Do I want this special thing? No, I'm like, okay, what did I have for breakfast? What did I have for lunch? Okay, I need a salad. Those are the things. I like to get a lot of greens in my day. I like to get a lot of variety in my day. I can pack a lot of nutrition, a lot of color, a lot of variety into my salad. So I'm like, no, I need to eat a salad. Yes, there are times where I'm kind of like, there's something else that's maybe tastier that doesn't have the same amount of nutrition in it. And I'm no fanatic when it comes to that stuff. I don't want to give you the wrong impression there. It's not like I'm constantly being this very strict, solemn person that just eat. I love every bit of food that I eat. They're like that. Swear on mother's soul. It's just like I don't eat anything just because it's good for you or whatever. But those two things right there, if you will eat enough and if you will eat for your nutrition first, once again, not saying you can't have the taste with it, but I even before I became vegan, I never had patience with adults that were just constantly talking about, oh, taste. I'll be honest with you too. I don't have a lot of patience for people that are real picky eaters as adults either. Like they're always like, "Ooh, I don't know if I'd like that," or "Can I taste this or this?" I'm just like, But then again, that's just me. I've even as a kid, I was not a very picky eater. I was probably a mother's dream as far as like, I'd eat vegetables, I'd eat this, I'd eat that. There weren't very many things that I wouldn't eat. So I've always been pretty open to eating, but. Just try those two things. Keep it simple. I mean, we're in the, January 2023. It's the first of the year. People have resolutions. There's all kind of programs out there. There's all kind of people trying to get you to commit to something new. There's all these courses out there and all these like, okay, do this and this and this and this. And I got 8 recipes for you. And if you do this and combine this and combine this, just keep it simple. Just try to follow good, solid, whole food, plant-based nutrition. And I'll finish with this and repeat myself yet one more time for the millionth time. Focus on your nutrition and don't be so caught up in the raw part of it. You can take the nutrition and apply it to the raw part, but that's why I'm always saying, like, those books like How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger, Fiber Fueled on gut health, any of the stuff by T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Esselstyn, like really good, solid stuff. None of those people happen to be raw, but they're my number one sources. And like I say, I take what they say and the things that they say we need to get, and I just make them mostly raw. But once again, the raw part of it, I'm just not that fanatic about. Even though I do eat mostly raw, I think sometimes when I go on and on and on about not being fully raw and not putting any stress on the fully raw, I think people think, oh, well, he's just slipped further and further away. No, I don't eat a lot of cooked food. Like I say, most of the cooked food I eat is 75% of the time I'm just putting like a sweet potato on top of my salad, or I'm having some beans or something like that. So it's really not very much, but you do you figure how much you want to eat. But like I say, just be sure you're eating enough, because if you're not, it's just like a ticking bomb. It's just like tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Only a matter of time before you make bad choices and reach for something simply because you're hungry. So no reason to be hungry. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a great day, and I'll see you here again tomorrow or the next day. Peace.